Our story begins in that quiet town where we see our hero Alec sitting and fishing. Then the magic master, named Eldas, approaches him and asks if he is interested in magic. Alec is surprised and tells him that he wishes to learn magic. We then see Eldas training Alec and giving him instructions. To hit the target, he must focus and imagine that a companion is in danger and he must save her. We then see Alec trying to follow the instructions. He then launches a fireball from his magic circle at the target and hits it. He is very happy because he succeeded, and Master Eldas congratulates him, noting that he is progressing very quickly in the training, as today's spell was very difficult and took them nearly a month to learn. They then end the day's training and Eldas tells him to rest and fish until nightfall. We then see them fishing, but Alec looks annoyed because he does not want to fish. Instead, he wants to learn more magic. Eldas tells him that he possesses an innate talent and will become a high-level mage without being taught anything. He advises him to let magic carry him forward like a river current. Alec is surprised and asks why he is teaching him magic then. Before Eldas can answer, the fishing rod catches a fish, and he pulls it out of the water. The next morning, we see Eldas training him in magic again and teaching him a new spell. Days go by, and Alec learns more spells and becomes proficient in using magic. One day, Master Eldas informs him that he will be leaving the town. Alec is very sad. Eldas advises him that even if the opportunity presents itself, he should not become a court mage. Alec is surprised and asks why he taught him magic. Eldas tells him it is because he is indebted to his late mother, and then he leaves. Years later, at the Royal Academy of Magic, we see Alec looking at a book and realizing that Master Eldas graduated first in his class and became a court mage, but was later exiled. That's why he was always sad. Alec then decides that he will change the court and do everything in his power, and this will be his way to repay Eldas's favor. He will become a great court mage. We then see Alec with the leader of the mages group, Regulus. Regulus expels Alec from the group because, in his view, Alec failed in his mission during the last battle. All the group members exerted themselves in the battle except for him. He did nothing but simple support. Regulus angrily tells him, "You are not a court mage, Alec, you disgust me." Then Liney says that the leader is right. During battles, Alec always says, "No need to go further, let's turn back." And he is always afraid of going deep into the dungeons. They initially allowed him to join their squad, obeying the king's orders. But the prince leader could no longer tolerate it, and was tired of clearing the dungeon with a useless person like him. Alec tries to explain and begs them not to expel him from the squad, but they will not listen to him. They all decide to expel him from the squad. The prince leader takes Alec's dagger and tells him that he will not allow him to carry a weapon from now on. He also takes the robe, telling him that he does not deserve the court mage's robe. Then they leave him and depart. We then see Alec in his room, very sad because he was expelled from his squad. He studies magic more and more and decides to go again and try to beg the prince to take him back into the squad. When he goes to the prince's room, the guards block his way and tell him to return the way he came. He has been stripped of the rank of court mage and has become a commoner, and they will not allow him to enter the castle. Then Lenny comes out and tells him that he is completely expelled and there is no need for him to come here often. "You're expelled. That's it. Your record for clearing the capital's dungeon when you were at the academy was pathetic. The deepest anyone had reached before was the 37th floor, and you only got to the 68th floor, didn't you? Enough of this nonsense, Alec." Alec calls out to her. "Liney, wait! Give me this chance! Please! Give this letter to the king, please!" But she ignores him and walks away. He looks at her again and says, "Please, give it to him. I will truly be grateful to you." She actually takes it from him, but then tears it into tiny shreds. Alec is stunned by the situation, as if a thunderbolt has struck him. She scolds him further, saying, "How disgusting, you hateful wretch! Guards, get him out of here!" She then leaves him and departs. The scene then shifts. Alec is in the city, wandering its streets, talking to us, saying, "Over the past 4 years, I felt humiliation and sorrow, but I also tried my best as a court mage. But in the end, I couldn't change the court." At that moment, he meets his old friend Yurha. He is shocked when he sees her, but she quickly runs to him and gives him a warm hug. He tells her what happened and apologizes for not meeting for 4 years, as he was a source of misery. She tells him, "That's life, a day for you and a day against you. Days will pass and run by, and you will become the best one, even better than them. But I am so happy that I met you again, Alec. Do you remember what I told you 4 years ago? That we would include you in our squad someday?" He replies, "Yes, I remember that well, but unfortunately, luck wasn't on my side." She gets up from her seat, extends her hand to him, and says, "We have the chance now. How about entering the dungeon again, you and I, together? I want you to accompany me. I need your help." He tells her, "But I'm just a useless court mage." She replies that he is not useless, rather, he is the foundation of everything. "Days will pass, and you will prove that you are truly great. I need you. I don't need anyone else." His eyes shine with a gleam, as if he is so happy that he is about to cry from intense joy. He then gets up from his seat and extends his hand to her, a sign of his agreement to the start of a new legend. They will complete what they started in those endless days. "Welcome back to the squad, rookie." Alec recalls his teacher's words. If you are ever given the chance to become a court mage, do not do it. The scene then shifts to Alec and his friend Yorha riding in a carriage. His friend speaks to him, finding him absent-minded. He tells her, "I was just thinking that my teacher was right. Don't worry about it. I was just dreaming of the old days." The scene then moves to His Highness the Prince and his group, who are talking about Alec. They believe he has run away and become an adventurer. The prince scoffs and says it was said that he was the best student the academy ever knew. So I was curious to see how great he was, but he was just a coward. Liney then says, "From now on, we won't work with a useless commoner, but with the true noble His Highness the Prince. Soon, we will penetrate the dungeon like never before, and the whole world will know your name, Your Highness." The prince is very pleased and laughs hysterically. The scene then shifts to Alec and his friend walking in a place called the Dungeon, El Sardab, which is full of adventurers from everywhere, hence the name. They then go to register Alec at the Adventurers Guild. The employee tells them that it is not possible because of the regulations. You must bring us a Dungeon Floor 30 Overcoming license, which is only available to those who have spent 2 years with one of the guilds. They try to persuade the employee to admit him to the guild, but it is in vain as she insists on following the orders to the letter. Afterward, they move to eat some food outside. Yorha says, "We've reached the 52 ND floor of the dungeon we're working on, and we can't wait 2 years." Yura talks to Alec and says, "Let's just drop it already. I've had enough complaining. Let's start from a place we can actually go to." Alec asks, "And where would that be?" She replies, "Let's do some warm-up. We don't need a permit to enter the lower floors since we're adventurers, and this is a dungeon city." Then both Yura and Alec use their powers to fight the Red Flabbers. Alec defeats them easily with his strength. Yura says, "I was planning to make this a simple round trip today, but it seems I was wrong. These Red Flabbers aren't few in number, there are tons of them." Alec responds, "They're panicking. Something must have happened to their nest." Yura looks surprised. "I didn't expect to get stuck on the second floor," she says, using her shield to block the attacking Red Flabbers. Alec stops her. "Let's be smart about this and take them down one by one." Yura insists, "I'll use my shield. You haven't fully regained your strength yet. You normally wouldn't have trouble with these creatures, so let me handle this. We're partners, remember?" Alec then gathers his full power to protect his comrades and unleashes his magic against the Red Flabbers. Together, they manage to defeat them all. But suddenly a huge monster appears and grabs Yura. Alec realizes it's the reason the Red Flabbins were acting that way. He tells Yura she has great power to encourage her, then summons his dragon to face the monster. After a fierce battle, he defeats it. Yura lands safely and tells him, "You really are the strongest mage." He thanks her. They then rush to help their friends, and together manage to slay the dragon. Everyone rejoices. One of their teammates says, "We did it! We've cleared floor 68! It's a new record!" They all join hands and say, "Lasting period, may these days continue forever." And that's the end of today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything new. A teenage girl unlocks a power no one's had in 50 years. It's the power of the gorilla. What exactly is this power, and will she use it for good or evil? Stay tuned till the end, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Our episode begins with an amazing and brand new anime centered around a teenage girl named Sofia. We see her being called by a school official as she stands nervously, wondering which card she'll draw today. In this world, students draw magical cards to receive special powers. Sofia is terrified, but finally she picks one. And what appears? A giant gorilla. Soon after, her friends show up, including Carissa, a blonde-haired girl who clearly acts like she owns the place. With a smug tone, Carissa asks, "So, what kind of skills did you get last night?" Before Sofia can even answer, they leave her behind and walk off. Feeling alone, Sofia heads to the dining hall for lunch. Now, here's some context. This school is called Darren Town Academy, a royal school attended by sons and daughters of nobles and powerful families. At this school, girls often form relationships with elite boys, aiming to marry into high-step families. As for Sofia, she was born to a count's family, but they only own a small patch of land. They're nobility, but just barely. Back to the story. We see Sofia doing some really strange things. Breaking stuff accidentally, moving with freakish strength. She just can't control her body. Her strength is insane, but she has no idea why this is happening. Could it be the gorilla power? She rushes to the headmaster's office and asks about the card she drew. The headmaster looks shocked and explains, "That card is extremely rare. I've handed out cards to many students, but this is the first time I've ever seen this one appear. It only shows up once every 50 years. It's one of the strongest cards in the combat category. The gorilla power gives you 7 times the physical strength of an average human." Later, we see Sofia in the garden feeding a cute squirrel, then hurrying off to class as the bell rings. After school, she returns to the headmaster again. This time he has big news. The Royal Knights have requested you join them. But first there's a test. If you pass, you'll be sent there right away. With the gorilla power, you've already gained quite the reputation. Sofia is stunned. Is this a dream? I can't believe I'm being offered such a high-ranking position. But then she realizes something darker. If she refuses, she could be arrested for disobeying a direct royal order. So she agrees. But she begs the headmaster not to tell anyone about it yet. The teacher told her that some people prefer to keep their powers hidden, and that he wouldn't reveal the fact that the Royal Knights were recruiting her either. Then he added that he'd heard rumors. The anti-monarchy faction had been getting more aggressive lately. He was sure she wouldn't want anyone talking about this until she officially became a knight in training. He encouraged her to do her best, assuring her that he'd always be there to support her. Later, Sofia went out into the garden, reflecting on what her teacher had said. If she joined the Knights, she'd have the chance to live a quiet, peaceful life. Still, she thought to herself, no matter how much she dreamed about her future, she couldn't run from the upcoming test. And there was a good chance she'd fail. So she decided she'd do her best. To fail on purpose. That way she'd get disqualified and wouldn't have to go through with it. After all, even if she had the strength of a gorilla, once they realized she wasn't fit to be a knight, there's no way they'd want someone like her in such an important role in the kingdom. Becoming a knight wasn't just a big deal, it was huge and completely out of her league. Then came the day of the knight in training exams. We see Sofia on her way to the Royal Knights Training Center where the tests were being held. While walking, she spots an old man struggling to fix his cart. One of its wheels had come off. The man tells her he's trying to figure out how to carry his heavy load. Sofia considers helping him, but she doesn't want to draw too much attention to herself. Still, what's the point of having this gorilla strength if she won't even use it to help someone? So she decides to lend a hand. The old man protests, saying it'll be way too much for her to carry. But before he can even finish, Sofia lifts the whole load onto her shoulders like it's nothing and starts walking with him. After that, we see Sofia again, but this time she's totally lost. She came from the neighboring town and now doesn't know which way to go. She stands there, thinking, until a boy notices she's lost and approaches her. He asks her if she's okay, and when she turns to see him, she's stunned by how handsome he is. She tells him she's trying to find the Royal Knights Training Center. He points out the direction, it's just down the road. She thanks him and starts to run, worried about being late. But before she takes off, the boy gently wipes some dirt off her face, and then she sprints away, blushing. When Sofia finally arrives at the training center, she's a bundle of nerves. All she wants is to go back home. But if she fails this test, maybe she can go back to her old life. Just thinking about it helps her calm down a bit. And then the test begins. The examiner? It's the same boy she saw on the street earlier. His name is Luce, and he's the youngest person ever considered for the position of Royal Knight. Luce tells the group that the first test will be a 100-meter sprint. When he gives the signal, they're to run from the starting line to the goal. One of the candidates, a confident guy named Isaac Sheehan, steps forward and says he's sure of his speed, so he'll go first. He takes off running at an impressive pace. Seeing this, Sofia panics. With people like Isaac here, how could someone like her possibly stand a chance? Next, it's Sofia's turn. She prepares herself, but the other students start mocking her for the way she's getting into her running stance. Inside, Sofia thinks to herself, it's so embarrassing to run in front of everyone. But if she gets this over with, maybe she can fail and escape. I'll finish this, one way or another. With that thought, she uses her gorilla strength and sprints off. She crashes through the wall at the end of the course. Sofia is stunned, thinking, I really overdid it. But then she feels how light her body is. Just moments ago, she had no idea the gorilla strength could make her run at 40 kilometers per hour. The next part of the training involves sliding down a mountain. They'll be tested on their speed as they descend. The students will climb to the top, and then they'll go down in order of readiness. The climb is tough, and when they see how high up they are, many of the students are scared. The first few students slide down easily, but when Isaac, who has a fear of heights, sees the drop, he hesitates. His friend tries to convince him to go down, but Isaac is still nervous. Sofia, seeing his fear, steps in. I'll go first. You can follow me. I'll catch you if something goes wrong. It's safer than you going alone. Isaac thinks to himself, I'm pathetic making a girl worry about me. He gathers his courage and walks to the edge, asking Sofia, would you like to go down with me? They start descending together, but Isaac is clearly afraid. Sofia reassures him. Don't look down. Suddenly the rope breaks and Isaac starts to fall. But just in time, Sofia grabs him and saves him from the fall. However, both of them end up falling for a moment. Luckily, Sofia's strength kicks in, and she saves them both. The other students are shocked by Sofia's strength, and Isaac thanks her for saving him. She replies, "You were the one who made the effort first. I just saved your life." The instructor then announces that the test isn't over yet. They're moving on to the next challenge. He calls for Sofia to come with him and asks if her arms hurt from the weight she carried. He offers to take her to the infirmary. At the infirmary, the instructor checks her arms and says, "Your wounds aren't deep. Considering the weight you carried, your arms are really strong. And Isaac, he's impressed by you." As Sofia lies there, she thinks to herself about how handsome the instructor is. She thanks him for helping her. The episode begins with Sofia narrating how the volcano ceremony takes place as soon as someone turns 16. By participating in this ceremony, people are granted unique abilities, and these powers vary greatly. For example, if someone receives the power of a bird, they grow wings and can fly freely. If they get the power of a fish, their body becomes capable of swimming effortlessly in water. Most people who receive these incredible gifts end up in truly remarkable professions. Then, we see Sofia with Louis. Her hand had been injured, and Louis is helping her do some exercises so it won't hurt anymore. He senses she wants to tell him something, so he asks her directly. She hesitates. She can't bring herself to admit that she was chosen to receive the power of a gorilla, so she changes the subject. After their conversation, they head to the training grounds. Sofia watches the other trainees nervously. She knows if she stays here much longer, she might not survive. Still, she wonders why she never took the power test herself. Maybe she would have failed? Time passes, and their training ends for the day. The commander tells them their results will be announced later. Later, we see Louis with Sofia again, thanking her. Someone survived today because of her. Just then, Isaac shows up and also thanks Sofia for what she did. Then Sofia and her friend Isaac leave the training ground together. As they walk, Isaac speaks highly of Louis. Sofia asks if he's known Louis for long. Isaac replies that when Louis was just 15, he already became a knight, even before receiving any powers. He's truly amazing. Louis is the heir of a prestigious family known for producing many knight commanders. He's an incredible swordsman, and yet, he never acts arrogant. Isaac says he hopes to become a great knight like him one day. While walking, they come across Eddie, surrounded by a group of guys bullying him. Sofia and Isaac decide to step in and help. Isaac approaches the group and asks what they're doing. If their training is over, maybe they should head home. The boys mock him too. Sofia steps up, saying that Eddie is with them. They promise to head home together. The bullies laugh even more, making fun of her and doubting she even passed the tests. They refuse to let Eddie go and suddenly attack Isaac and Sofia. One of them raises a hand to hit Sofia, but Isaac intercepts him angrily. Hitting a girl like that, that's disgraceful for a knight. Then Eddie jumps in, punching one of the bullies. He tells them they didn't need to get involved. Just as another guy attacks Eddie, Eddie manages to block him. One of the bullies tries to hit Sofia, but she grabs him and slams him hard into a nearby jar with incredible force. Everyone is stunned. After the fight, Sofia, Eddie, and Isaac walk off, laughing and impressed by Sofia. Isaac asks her, amazed how she pulled that off. Are you a shinobi from the Far East or something? Sofia doesn't even understand the reference. Eddie cuts in and asks her straight up, did you get the power of the gorilla? Sofia is shocked by the question. Eddie continues, she's got the strength to carry a full-grown man while climbing, and even though she ran a little awkwardly before, she still outran the fastest person in the country. That's not normal. Sofia doesn't answer. Eddie says he wishes he had her power. She doesn't realize how awesome it is. He explains, the power of the gorilla's legs allows her to run at a top speed of 40 km/h. Her arms are 7 times stronger than a normal human's, and her grip strength is said to be 10 times more, meaning over 500 kilograms. Isaac is blown away. That's an insane amount of strength. Eddie tells them that this power is classified as a combat type, and there are only 2 ultimate combat classifications in the world. Sofia blushes, but Eddie tells her she shouldn't be embarrassed, she should be proud. Then he thanks her again for saving him with her strength. The 3 of them start to bond. Isaac reveals he got the power of the dog, he's a great runner. Eddie says he's not ready to talk about his power yet. If the wrong person found out, it could be a weakness, not something you just go around telling everyone. Sofia finally admits she did get the power of the gorilla, but begs them not to tell anyone. They both agree to keep her secret, Eddie says. There's no reason for me to tell anyone, unless they noticed it themselves. Then Isaac adds, we're kind of like a trio of 16-year-olds. I really hope all of us make it. Sofia thinks to herself, I don't think I'll ever see them again. I'm sure I'm going to fail, but I hope Isaac and Eddie succeed, somehow. The scene shifts to an old man telling Sofia, you passed, though. I heard you failed a part of the test. I don't know the full qualifications, But you must have left a good impression. Since you're still a student, you'll start your night training after school, most likely as a rookie knight. Later, Sofia enters the classroom, only to be surprised when Isaac and Eddie walk in too. Isaac smiles and says, "I had a feeling we'd be in the same class." He welcomes her warmly. We see them later chatting in the school garden. Sofia says, "Becoming a rookie knight and receiving the gorilla's blessing." Isaac replies, "It's none of their business what kind of blessing anyone has, but why are we keeping your rookie status a secret?" Sofia answers, "Because I want to become a knight with you both. I can't just come out and say that. Let's just pretend we met for the first time." Isaac shrugs. "Whatever you want, as long as it doesn't mess with our night missions." Sofia thanks them, saying, "I want to protect even a small part of my peaceful school life, no matter what it takes." Then she smiles and adds, "More importantly, congrats on passing the test." Suddenly, they notice a crowd of girls gathering nearby. Sofia walks over to check it out and sees Louis walking in. He's all smiles and happy to be there at the school. Sofia, thinking nervously, "What now?" She asks Louis, "What are you doing here?" He responds, "Since I'm prioritized as a rookie knight, I don't have to attend regularly. I guess I'm your senior in more ways than one. Oh, and by the way, congrats to all three of you on passing the test." He notices the bandage on Sofia's hand and asks about it. She assures him she's fine. Then he offers, "If you've got any questions about the school, feel free to ask." Sofia thinks, who would have thought someone like him goes to the same school as me? But soon, she notices the atmosphere shifting. A group of girls are glaring at her. One of them confronts Sofia, asking about her relationship with Scarol. Sofia responds calmly, "I don't know him. We just met once, that's all. I didn't even know Scarol was Louis's last name." The questions keep piling up, and Sofia, wanting to escape, tells them, "Louis's out in the courtyard." The girls all rush out to find him, and Sofia takes the chance to run off. Later, Eddie and Isaac eat lunch with her. They talk about how everyone keeps stopping them. Eddie complains, "They keep asking me where I'm from, what my hobbies are. There's nothing to talk about. I guess it's rare to see people from outside the royal capital." Meanwhile, the girls keep throwing dirty looks at Sofia. Louis then shows up again and tells them, "Tomorrow's the initiation ceremony. I hope I see you all there. The knight commander will give a welcome speech, and then you'll meet your fellow knights." Sofia excuses herself, saying she has something important to do. As she walks away, she thinks, "I don't want to hear another word from those girls. Staying would have been a waste of time anyway." On her way out, she bumps into Louis again. He apologizes for bothering her and says he just wanted to talk. He offers her a piece of cake, saying, "I bought an extra one just for you. Don't tell your friends." Sofia thanks him, and Louis walks off. Then she notices, those girls were watching her the whole time, and now they're chasing her. And that's how today's episode ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next episode. Then Sofia is asked if she is all right, and she says she is fine, but in reality, she is not. Then she remembers when the girls came to her house and asked her what she was doing with Scarol. Sofia told them that it was not what it seemed, as their families knew each other, so they were just having fun together. Carissa then tells her that there is no doubt about it, as it is unbelievable that Scarol would waste his time with a girl who lacks sophistication like her. They mock Sofia and leave. Then we return to reality, and Sofia talks to herself, saying, "Carissa is right, I lack sophistication. My hair is always messy, and I can't style it properly. Also, my weight is not suitable for my height. Besides, I've become the gorilla girl." Then we see all the knights in the arena, and the commander of the royal knights enters. His name is Ernest Cheval, and he congratulates everyone on their success in the preliminary knight certification test for the 156th class. He tells them that they are all wonderful warriors and were chosen for the test from among many young candidates. They must be prepared to risk their lives to protect the kingdom and its peace. A knight must possess courage, nobility, and refinement, and no one expects any of them to bring shame upon the kingdom. All the knights bow respectfully to his words. Then the commander looks at Sofia and asks her to do something about her hair strands so that they do not hinder her during combat. Sofia becomes nervous because she has received a warning from the most important person in the academy. At night, we see Sofia in her room cutting a part of her hair, and she is very sad. Due to her intense sadness, when she holds the scissors, her gorilla strength manifests and she breaks them. The next morning, we see Sofia walking in the city looking for a hairdresser. Then Louis meets her and asks her what she is doing here. She asks him that she is looking for a hairdresser, so Louis takes her and they go to a barber shop. Sofia is surprised that Louis brought her to a men's barber shop. The shop owner asks him why he brought a girl to the shop. Louis tells him that she is his friend and wants to get her hair done. The shop owner tells her to sit down and remove the veil from her head. Sofia is afraid of him because he looks scary to her. He asks her what hairstyle she wants, and she tells him that she wants to cut it shorter. The barber refuses and tells her that he will style it, but will keep the length as it is. After some time, the barber finishes, and Sofia looks at her face in the mirror and is amazed by her beauty. Then Louis comes and tells her that she has become very beautiful. Sofia thanks the barber for his effort and they leave the place. When she asks Louis about the cost, he tells her that he paid in advance. Sofia goes out and thanks Louis for what he did for her. Then she talks to herself, expressing her great joy because Louis paid attention to her, even if only a little. Then they pass by a sweets shop and Sofia notices that Louis seems to want to eat sweets. He tells her that he loves sweets very much, but most of the customers in this place are women and he will attract attention if he goes in to buy. Sofia thinks to herself, I'm sure the reason isn't because you're a man, but because you're Louis senpai. But maybe if I go in with him I can repay him for the haircut. But if anyone from the school sees us, it will be a disaster. Then she tries to think of another way to repay him. Louis interrupts her thoughts and tells her that he wants to try this place, even just once. Sofia decides to try the place and go in with him, and Louis agrees immediately. Then they go in and sit at a table. We see all the girls admiring Louis, and Sofia understands their feelings because he is very handsome. Then the waitress comes and asks them what they would like to order. Sofia orders a strawberry pie, and Louis orders a pistachio cake, a walnut pie, 2 caramel nut pies, a caramel almond pie, 2 pieces of dried fruit cake, a nut cake, 2 coffee walnut cakes, and 2 pieces of biscuits to take with him when he leaves. Then he looks at Sofia and tells her that he wanted to try many things since he came here. Then the sweets arrive and they start eating. Louis enjoys the sweets very, very much. While eating, Sofia tells him that it's obvious he has trouble going to places like this. He tells her that's true, but he is very happy that he came here with her. She asks him if he doesn't have anyone to accompany him here. He tells her that he doesn't, as that doesn't suit a man like him, even though he is surrounded by many girls at school. He tells her that most likely everyone thinks he is in a relationship with a girl because he rarely comes to school, but in reality, there is no girl he loves in his life, and he is not thinking about marriage now until he achieves his goals first. And then he asks her, do you really possess the gorilla strength? And asks her not to answer if she doesn't want to, but he was just curious when he saw her excellent ability, but he will never force her to answer. Sofia realizes that Louis has discovered her secret. Since they are together in the Knights squad, she thinks about telling him the truth, that she does indeed possess gorilla strength, but she refrains because if he knows, he will surely hate her. Louis tells her that he guessed it because she always likes to help others and rescue them when they are in trouble. Sofia asks him, will you hate me if I tell you that I possess gorilla strength? He tells her that he will certainly not hate her, but he is worried that a beautiful lady like her possesses such great power. Then he asks her to rely on him if any harm befalls her, and never hesitate to ask for his help. Then they leave the sweets shop and on their way back, Sofia talks to herself, saying, don't misunderstand, he is being kind to me because I am his classmate. Then she wonders what kind of supernatural power Louis possesses, and if there is any ability that rivals gorilla strength. She wishes Louis had the same power as her, as she would be very happy. At night, we see the commander of the Royal Knights Naval Forces, Shen Kuali, reading the list of new knights. His friend enters and asks him what he is doing. He tells him that he is reading the names of the new knights, and his friend notices that he is very focused on the list. Then we see Sofia running away from her classmates using her gorilla strength and going to Isaac in the sword training arena. She tells him that she is being chased. Then their friend Eddie tells them that he is very tired of sword training. Isaac tells him that they still have rifle training. Then all the students line up and rifle training begins. Commander Adler gives them instructions on how to use the rifles and defense techniques. The students are surprised when they see him. Then the training begins and the knights start firing. When it is Sofia's turn and she holds the rifle, she cannot control her strength and breaks the rifle. She apologizes to the commander and he tells her it's okay. He leans close to her ear and says, "You little gorilla." Sofia is surprised because he knows about it. Then Commander Adler stands in front of everyone and tells them that after they become official knights, some of them will join his squad. Then he flies into the air, aims his rifle and hits all the targets with expertise. He wishes them to become like him. Then Sofia and her friends leave and talk about Commander Adler's fighting prowess. Eddie wonders what the party next week at school will be like. Sofia thinks about attending, but she doesn't even have a dress. The next morning, Commander Adler goes to the Supreme Commander and tells him that there are very interesting knights in the new batch, and there is a very interesting girl who possesses gorilla strength, and he will never let her escape from his team. And so ends our episode today. To watch more episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates on the day of the school festival. We see Sofia getting ready, as her family sent her a new and very beautiful dress. She is angry because they didn't send her any of the dresses she already owns at home. She decides not to attend the festival, but she anticipates many questions about her absence, so she changes her mind. She will go to the festival, but won't wear the new dress. The festival begins, and we see Sofia entering the party looking very shy. Her friend Carissa approaches her and, upon seeing her, makes fun of her appearance and dress. Carissa is accompanied by a male friend who then speaks to Sofia and introduces himself as Leohart. Afterward, Carissa asks Sofia if she has a partner at the festival, implying that one cannot attend without a partner of the opposite sex. She then mocks Sofia again, takes Leohart and walks away, leaving Sofia very sad. Instead, Louis leaps on a bear trap. Sofia runs away from everyone to hide, and she bumps into Louis, who apologizes as he was in a hurry. When he sees her crying, he asks what happened. She tells him that something got into her eye. He suggests going to the infirmary, but she refuses and says she wants to return to her room. Louis insists on staying with her, and she tells him the truth. She didn't know that one couldn't attend the school festival without a partner and came alone. Louis decides to be her partner for the festival. When they return to the main area, everyone talks about them, wondering how Louis could be Sofia's partner. Louis tells Sofia that this is the first time he's realized he needs a partner for the festival. Sofia doesn't believe him, thinking he must have had many opportunities before. We then see Carissa and her friends seething with jealousy because Louis is Sofia's partner, and they decide to ruin her day. As Sofia approaches them, Carissa's friend offers her a drink. Before Sofia can take it, the friend throws the cup so that it spills on Sofia's dress. However, Sofia uses her gorilla strength to catch the cup before it falls, frightening the girls, who quickly run away. Later, Louis talks to Sofia, and she asks him why he agreed to be her partner. He whispers in her ear that he received a message this morning from a certain organization stating that there are explosives hidden somewhere in Darentuin. It might just be a prank, of course, but there's a festival today. So many students are gathered here, and they are likely targeting the nobles and those in power. The knights suggested canceling the festival, but the parents immediately refused and told them not to give in to threats. Since Louis is a student here, he is secretly investigating the matter with the help of Isaac and Eddie, and he wants Sofia to help them too. Sofia agrees. Louis then asks Sofia to hold his arm, as it's strange for partners not to hold hands. Sofia and Louis return to the festival, where Carissa is still very angry with them and plotting something. We then see Louis talking to Sofia, asking if she has noticed anything suspicious on this floor. As she looks around at the people, Carissa speaks to her kindly, as if nothing had happened. While she's talking to Sofia, her friend tricks them and tries to cut Sofia's dress. Sofia uses her gorilla strength to deliver a strong blow, and Louis takes the scissors from the girl. The girl gets scared and tells him it was just a joke and not to hurt her. Louis scoffs, telling her that the scissors are very sharp and it wasn't a joke. He then looks at Sofia and sees that her dress has been cut. He takes off his jacket and gives it to her to wear. Then he carries her on his shoulder and leaves the festival with her, making Sofia very embarrassed. Louis tells her that he's a failed knight because he couldn't protect a lady. Sofia asks him not to blame himself, as she was the one who almost fell. She adds that if he calls himself a failed knight, then she's a failed knight too, implying she also bears responsibility. Louis tells her that she is right. Louis tells her, "Let's go buy you a new dress. The city is only 10 kilometers away, don't worry." But she tells him she has another dress, thinking to herself, "I'll wear that dress eventually. I want to escape, but Louis is very upset because of me, and I don't want to cause him more worry." Afterward, Sofia goes out, and on her way she meets Leohart, who asks her to accompany him to the festival, but she refuses. Sofia gets angry with him and wants to go to Louis quickly. Finally, Isaac and Eddie arrive and save her from Leohart. Isaac tells her there's a problem. There's a bomb in the school. No explosives have been found on any floor yet, which means it might just be a prank. So they are thinking of going to the festival even though they are late, and they need to inform Louis about this. Sofia says Louis is at the entrance of the festival, but Eddie stops her, saying she can't attend the festival in her current state. Eddie then takes her away. Afterward, we see that he has fixed her appearance and styled her hair. Then she goes to Louis and apologizes for being late. Everyone is impressed, and Louis is amazed by her beauty because of her lovely appearance and even lovelier dress. We notice that Sofia is very embarrassed, thinking, "We've become more conspicuous than before." She asks her friends how they entered the festival without a partner. Eddie replies that one doesn't need a partner to enter a school festival. The school didn't mention anything like that. Sofia gets angry because they tricked her and apologizes to Louis for her misinformation. Louis replies that he's enjoying his time, so Then Louis tells them that the festival is almost over, so he thinks it was just a prank. Sofia asks Louis if she can go see her classmate. Her friend tells her she lost her earring and knows where she dropped it, but is afraid to go alone. Sofia replies, "Yes, I'd be happy to help you to that place." Sofia enters the location and keeps searching for the earring. Her friend tells her, "You dropped it inside the box." Sofia enters the box, and her friend locks it from the outside. Then the friend apologizes, saying, "Carissa asked me to keep you away from the festival. I'll let you out after the festival ends." Sofia thinks, "I'm sure the Irene family isn't a prominent family. I couldn't refuse Carissa's request, as she comes from a distinguished family." Sofia wants to get out of the box, but thinks, "If I get out, it's my fault. But if I don't, Carissa will scold me. I can't believe you have lessons even though I'm a gorilla. How pathetic. Then, Sofia hears the sound of footsteps and people try to open the box because there's something inside. They take the box with Sofia inside to the 3rd floor. Sofia gets scared and screams. This is how today's episode of this anime ends. Stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all the new updates. The anime episode begins with Sofia disguised inside a box and no one knows anything about her. 2 men carry the box and place it in a room. When the 2 men leave the room, Sofia uses her power and smashes the box to get out. At that moment, Sofia thinks about the party. She won't be able to return now, but she is worried about Louis because everyone will be talking to him now that she's absent. Just then she feels something next to her and gets very scared, but it turns out to be a squirrel. Night falls on Sofia while she is still in the room while her friends are searching for her everywhere, but haven't found her. Then we see Sofia looking at the squirrel, and she realizes it's the same squirrel that was in the courtyard earlier. She tells it that she has thought about staying here for a while. If she stays here until the party ends, she is sure that Arnie won't be scolded. It seems that the mysterious message was just a prank too, so there's no need for her to return to the party. Despite this, she had wished to stay with Louis until the end, as she feels happy when she is by his side. However, the other girls can talk to Louis in her absence as well, but a part of her doesn't want him to talk to the other girls. She feels that he is just being considerate because she is his younger classmate and was just going along with things when he chose her as a partner. At that moment, fireworks go off in the sky and Sofia is happy to see them and wishes Louis could see them too. She wants to know who Louis's partner is now, and she suspects she loves him. Sofia never expected to feel this way towards someone. At that moment, Sofia hears a sound coming from outside and gets very worried, but she goes out of the room to see what's happening. She keeps searching everywhere. At first she thought the strong wind had opened the window, but then she hears the voices of 2 boys saying that this is luxurious for a student party. Sofia suspects that they are the ones who sent the message. She then thinks about returning unnoticed to call Louis and the others, but the boys hear her footsteps and are surprised because they didn't expect anyone to come here. They order her not to scream or they will kill her. Sofia doesn't pay attention to them, so one of the boys decides to attack her, but she manages to hit him with a single punch. The second boy tries to hit her too, so Sofia punches him and then ties them up with ropes. She asks them who they are, but they don't answer her, so Sofia is sure they weren't students at this school. She thinks about going to call Louis, but she realizes she shouldn't leave them out of her sight. The squirrel comes to her at that moment and asks her to follow it. When she follows it, it takes her towards a box, and Sofia is shocked because there is a bomb inside the box. Sofia keeps thinking about what to do and asks the boys to tell her how to stop it, but neither of them pays her any attention. They want to die for their principles. Sofia thinks of something to stop the bomb. Sofia says, "We have to do something. I think this bomb is set to explode immediately when the clock hands meet. This is completely different from what I saw in training, but if I can stop the movement of the 2 hands..." "You caused this, Finn. I shouldn't have talked to Louis and the others. I don't have time to hesitate. I have to do something and not put everyone in danger. I will stop it." Then she asks the squirrel to run away, far away. One of the boys tells her, "It's too late." Then Sofia takes it towards the window, saying, "If I go down the stairs, it will take too long. There are people gathered in the garden." Sofia runs away and no one sees her, and no one looks in the direction she is in. She runs quickly to reach a place empty of people, or the explosion will hurt them all. "I won't let that happen," Sofia says in that place. "I can contain the explosion a little with gorilla strength." The squirrel comes and plays with the clock hands, and Sofia screams because it's going to explode. Then she throws it into the sky, and it explodes like fireworks. Then her friends appear and reassure her. Isaac asks her what happened, but she doesn't tell him anything, and they return to the party together. Afterwards, she apologizes to them. Then Eddie asks her what happened, and she tells him, "I saw 2 suspicious people by chance entering the school through the window of the old school building. I followed them and noticed that they had prepared a bomb. And what happened a moment ago wasn't fireworks, but the bomb. I kicked the bomb into the sky." Eddie gets angry with her, saying, "Stop putting yourself in danger." Isaac informs them that the bomb was placed after they had searched the place, and asks her about the 2 people she saw. She tells them that she tied them up and left them in the room. Finally, Louis arrives and thanks them for saving Sofia. Then Eddie tells him that she found 2 people on the 3rd floor of the old school building. Then Sofia apologizes to Louis, saying, "I didn't leave the party without telling you, but I acted on my own." But he tells her, "You can tell me the details later," and asks Eddie to accompany her to the dorm. Then he tells Isaac to prepare a written report about the incident. Sofia feels sad because Louis didn't look at her and wonders if he hates her. The next morning, we see those girls apologizing to Sofia for the great harm that could have occurred if they had made a wrong move. Then her friend says, "I apologize for deceiving you and locking you in that box. We went too far, no matter how jealous we were of you. Your presence beside Louis. You two seemed very close, so our jealousy intensified, Sofia tells them. Louis and I weren't acting affectionately at all. One of you set off many things that caused the huge fireworks, so he should be thanking you. Then Sofia leaves with them. This is how today's episode of this anime ends. Wait for us in the upcoming episodes. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all the latest updates. 3 months had passed since Sofia became a novice knight. She recalled that on that day, the 2 individuals she apprehended belonged to an anti-royalist group called the Dawn. Sofia had discovered they were behind all the chaos at the school, but she couldn't figure out how they had infiltrated the premises despite the heightened security. It was possible someone from inside the school had allowed them entry. But both had escaped after the incident, leaving many questions unanswered. Another matter weighed on Sofia's mind. She hadn't spoken to Louis since that day. They would constantly cross paths as she tried to avoid him, yet they hadn't encountered each other since she realized she had feelings for him. However, she couldn't blame Louis for ignoring her. Later, Sofia met up with her friends, who were thrilled about their upcoming field training. We then see them on their way to the training grounds. The weather was bitterly cold, and they could barely move due to the chill, but they eventually reached their destination. The leader informed them that the purpose of this training was to gain the strength to endure any hardship, no matter how severe, by facing this harsh environment. He then ordered them to climb to the summit to reach their lodgings, and they would descend the mountain in the morning, one by one. Everyone followed the leader's instructions. Sofia and her friends were exhausted from the falling snow and the weight they carried. Eddie was feeling particularly tired, and Sofia offered to take his belongings to carry them for a while, but he refused. As they continued, their leader told them that the path would narrow from this point onward, and they needed to change their formation. They adjusted their formation accordingly, with Sofia and her friends walking in a direction that was very steep. At that moment, Eddie fainted from exhaustion. Sofia rushed to save him before he fell off the cliff, but in doing so, she herself fell down the slope. Next, we see Sofia lying on the ground after her fall. When she woke up, her body ached all over, but she was relieved that she had avoided serious injuries. She decided not to wander around at that time, as the sun was beginning to set. Therefore, she would forget about meeting the others at the top for now and look for a place to warm up. She indeed found a small house and went inside to spend the night. She started trying to light a fire to keep herself warm, but she didn't have any fire-starting tools. She kept searching for them and realized they had fallen from her. She grew fearful, because if she didn't light a fire, she might freeze to death. Sofia sat for a while, thinking about what to do. Then she heard a sound coming from outside. She was very scared, thinking it was a ghost, but she opened the door to see what it was, hoping it might be a lost traveler like herself. When she opened the door, she found a squirrel lying on the ground with fire-starting tools. Sofia took it inside and lit a fire. When she looked at the squirrel, she realized it was the same one that had been at the school. Exhausted, Sofia fell asleep. In the morning, she felt warm and smelt a pleasant aroma. She woke up to add more wood to the fire to rekindle it. Suddenly, she found Louis lying next to her on the ground. She was shocked to see him. Louis woke up and apologized for his appearance, as he was without clothes. He told her that his clothes and equipment were near the hut. Sofia quickly retrieved them and placed them near the fire to dry. Then, she asked him what he was doing there. He told her that when he saw her fall, he immediately followed her. He knew it wasn't a rational decision, but at that moment he couldn't think of anything else. He managed to descend without getting hurt, but he didn't know where he had landed. After wandering around for a while, he then told her that this was the perfect opportunity to tell her something. Louis says to Sofia, "You can complain to me as much as you like, I just hope I don't disappoint you." Then he disappears and suddenly reappears as a squirrel, which shocks Sofia and makes her scream. He apologizes for keeping her waiting and explains, "I received the blessing of the squirrel. It seems to enhance physical ability, but my blessing is quite strong. It even allowed me to transform into a squirrel for a short while. However, the time it takes to return to my normal form varies. I retain my inner self, but I sometimes end up acting like a squirrel. It's not easy using this blessing. Squirrels are skilled at searching in snowy fields. I didn't know if I could physically endure it, but I wanted to try finding you. The weather was so cold that I reached my physical limit while transformed, and that's how I ended up like that," Sofia responds. "More importantly, why would you do something so dangerous?" Louis admits, "I acted on my own during the explosion incident because I thought you were fed up with me and hated me." She replies, "So that's why you disappeared?" Louis says, "I gave you the wrong impression. Let me use this chance to confess. On the day of the school festival, you were locked in the storage room. I was there too. In fact, I was the squirrel you gave bread to. That was me in squirrel form. Sofia realizes, the squirrel last night, the one during lunch break, and the one I met in the storage room. All of them were you. I transformed only because I wanted to find you quickly. I didn't intend to listen to what you said. No one has ever told me they loved me before. Sofia replies, but you're so popular. Hasn't any girl asked you out before? He answers, don't mock me. There's no way someone like me, who only knows how to fight, could be popular. When I heard your feelings, I felt terrible and tried to leave, but then I heard a sound and couldn't leave you alone. I'm the one who found the bomb. I was trying to protect everyone from the explosion. I was really scared. I thought you might die. In the end, you were the one who brilliantly protected the school and the students. But ever since then, whenever I saw you, I remembered what you said and couldn't look you in the eyes. I guess that gave you the wrong idea. Louis finally confesses that he loves her, saying, I realize now that I should have told you first, but I only just understood my true feelings. I have been drawn to you since our first meeting. I want to be by your side because I love you. I get anxious seeing you with someone else, and I can always find you no matter where you are. It took someone calling me a failure for me to realize my true feelings. Sofia, crying, says she loves him too. When I realized how I felt, I was already in love with you. But when I discovered my feelings, you suddenly pulled away, and I thought you hated me. That hurt so much. I regretted even falling for you, but I love you deeply, and I should have told you sooner. Suddenly, the door bursts open, and Sofia pushes Louis aside. We see Isaac, who forced the door open with the strength of a dog, having tracked her scent to find her. When Sofia sees Louis lying on the floor, she apologizes repeatedly, saying, I hate having this power. And that's how today's episode of the anime ends. Stay tuned for the next episodes. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell to stay updated with all the latest content. Then we see Sofia at the academy several weeks after the training in the snowy mountains, where many things happened, but in the end, they got a break from night training, and she is happy because she will relax for the first time in a while. Suddenly, her friend appears, rushing, carrying a tree. Sofia asks him what it is, and he tells her that there are people with him in the dormitory who asked him to do some tasks suddenly, and they intend to hold a Christmas party. Then they enter the academy, and he tells her that many students return to their homes for Christmas, including Carissa and Irene, and those who remain in the dormitory will hold a Christmas party together. Sofia gets very excited and tells them that she will help them with the decorations. Then Louis appears and tells everyone that he brought the cake. All the girls are happy and thank him. Then he looks at Sofia, who is also looking at him, and their cheeks blush with shyness. Sofia remembers the romantic moments that happened between them before, and is afraid that those around them will know about their relationship, because if that happens, she will be in big trouble. Then Sofia leaves, and Louis follows her and asks her how she is. Then the two are silent, and Sofia doesn't know what to do at such a moment. Then Louis tells her that he was looking for her and hugs Sofia, telling her that he missed her very much. Sofia gets very nervous and wants to push him away, but she remembers what happened in the mountains when he held her very tightly and refrains from doing so. Then Louis apologizes to her, fearing that he might have bothered her. Suddenly, the girls appear, and Sofia gets very scared and moves away from Louis. They take Louis and leave him. Then the Christmas party begins, and we see Sofia watching Louis from afar, realizing that he is very popular with the girls. Then her friend Eddie comes and sits next to her, offering her a gift for the party. Sofia takes it, and when she opens it, she finds a hair decoration pin. He tells her that he thought of this gift because she ties her hair up during training, so this pin will help her. He thanks her for what she did for him during training. Sofia thanks him for it, and he leaves. Then her friend Isaac approaches her and asks her to go outside because he wants to talk to her. When they go out, Isaac also offers her a gift. Sofia opens the gift and finds a beautiful scarf. She thanks him very much for it, and he tells her that it's because she helped him in the past and saved him when he was about to fall from the top of the building, and that she treated him very kindly. Then Isaac puts the scarf on her and tells her that it suits her very well, and that he is happy that he got to know her. Then Isaac gets very nervous, and just as he was about to ask Sofia to go out with him on a romantic date, a box falls on Isaac's head from above, interrupting his speech. Then Sofia laughs at him and thanks him, saying that she is happy that she received a Christmas gift from a very dear friend like him. Isaac is surprised because she called him a friend. Sofia thanks him again and leaves, going to her room. She lies on the bed, happy because she received 2 gifts, and decides that she will buy them gifts too. But she is a little sad because she couldn't talk to Louis much. Then there is a knock on the room door. Sofia opens it and finds Louis. Sofia gets very nervous when she sees him because she is afraid that someone might see them. She quickly lets him in and closes the door. Louis apologizes for coming suddenly and tells her that he will leave and come again by appointment. Sofia tells him that it doesn't matter, as she was absent-minded on the bed and not asleep. and asks him what brought him here. Louis takes out a gift and offers it to her. Sofia takes it and opens it, seeing that it is a very beautiful necklace. She likes it very much, so Sofia thanks him and puts on the necklace. Louis tells her that it suits her very well and apologizes again for coming suddenly and decides to leave. But Sofia stops him, saying that she bought a gift for him too and wants to give it to him. Then they sit and eat sweets together, and she tells him that her gift is the pieces of sweets that she kept for him from the party cake because she knows that he loves sweets very much. And he didn't have enough time to eat sweets at the party, so she decided to take the pieces of sweets to her room and give them to him. She tells him that her gift is not as good as his gift. Louis tells her not to say that, as the sweets alone are enough for him, and he thanks her very much for the sweets. He feeds Sofia with his hand and Sofia eats it, telling him that the cake tastes sweeter now because he fed it to her. Then Louis tells her that when he is with her, he is comfortable and himself because there are many people who bully him because he loves sweets very much. So he no longer admits that he loves sweets in front of anyone. He hugs Sofia and thanks her for everything she has done for him. Then Sofia tells him that she is very jealous of him and doesn't want him to talk to those other girls. Louis is surprised and also happy to hear that. He tells her that he wants to announce their relationship to everyone, but Sofia immediately refuses and tells him not to tell anyone at school about their relationship. Louis refuses as he doesn't want their relationship to be secret, and he also wants to be able to watch those who are targeting her, as he saw many boys talking to her during the party. Sofia tells him that she didn't get close to anyone except Eddie and Isaac, and they also gave her Christmas gifts, and she wants to buy them something in return. He tells her that he will accompany her while she buys the gifts. She tells him that there is no need for that, as she has not fallen for anyone but him, and she promises him that. And so our episode ends with that romantic moment between Sofia and Louis. To know what will happen in the upcoming episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Louis immediately distances himself from Sofia and apologizes for suddenly approaching her. Sofia blushes and tells him not to apologize. Louis then smiles and tells her to visit his room sometime before he leaves. Sofia is overcome with embarrassment. The next morning, our scene is in the city, thinking about the previous night spent with his friend Victor. He desperately wants to sleep, but it's his first day off in a long time and he doesn't want to waste it. A female friend appears, notices he looks tired, and offers him a glass of water to refresh him. Another friend, dressed impeccably, asks him when he'll go out with her as promised. Yet another friend asks him to hang out today, since it's his day off. All the girls seem to be competing for Arsene's attention. Suddenly, he sees Sofia running down the street. Arsene immediately decides to leave, telling the girls he'll visit them again. He uses his wing power to fly, then spies on Sofia from above, wondering what she's doing in the city. Sofia visits her friend, who works at a shop, to check on her well-being. She continues her visits, ensuring everyone is okay, playing with children, and offering assistance to the townspeople. Suddenly, there's a commotion in a restaurant. Sofia enters, and angry men demand to know what she wants, continuing to yell at the owner. Sofia can't control her anger. She fights them and throws them out of the restaurant. The owner thanks her for saving him, and she tells him to contact her immediately if something like this happens again. Next, we see Sofia carrying an elderly woman so she doesn't get tired from walking. The woman thanks her profusely for her help. After the woman leaves, Sofia stares at a sweet shop. Suddenly, Arsene appears before Sofia. She asks him what he's doing there, addressing him as Commander Adler. He tells her he's off duty today so she can call him Arsene. He then asks why she was staring at the sweets, wondering if she loves them that much. Sofia tells him they're not for her, but she knows someone who loves sweets very much and would be happy if she told them about the shop. Arsene suggests they go into the shop together to buy what she wants. Sofia apologizes and declines, feeling shy about being alone with a man. Arsene tells her not to overreact, that they'll just have tea together. Sofia refuses again and leaves. Then we see Isaac in the city, waiting for Sofia. Sofia rushes to him, wearing the white scarf he gave her as a gift, and hugs him with gorilla strength. She apologizes for not considering her strength, but says she couldn't control herself when she saw his face. They go to a clothing store, and Sofia tries on a new dress. When Isaac sees her, he is very impressed by her beauty and tells her she's beautiful as they buy the dress. Then they go to a restaurant, spend the day together, and play with the city dogs. At the end of the day, Isaac thanks her for spending the day with him. Sofia tells him she enjoys her time with him and that he's her close friend. However, we suddenly discover that this was all Isaac's imagination. He was imagining spending the day with Sofia, but in reality, he's with his friend Edie in the sauna, talking about Sofia. Edie recalls a time at the academy when he was sitting alone under a tree. Sofia approached him and asked what he was doing. He told her he was talking to a cat and sharing his troubles. Sofia wanted to pet the cat, but was afraid her strength might accidentally harm it. She then asked him again why he was sitting there, and he explained he was hiding from the girls. Sofia smiled, understanding. Back in the present, the two friends continue their conversation. Isaac tells Eddie that Sofia is patrolling the royal capital today. Many people in the city love her because she is kind-hearted and helps everyone. She's a wonderful girl. Isaac then shares his suspicion that Sofia might like someone, though he's not sure. Eddie gets annoyed and says he doesn't know anything about that. Meanwhile, in the city, we see the girls enjoying themselves, laden with shopping bags filled with clothes and other items. On their way home, they see Sofia helping people. Carissa is very surprised, realizing Sofia is working on her day off and never knew she was a rookie knight. They had noticed her disappearing right after school but didn't know why. Sofia apologizes for keeping it a secret, explaining she wanted her school life to be as peaceful as possible. She asks them to keep it quiet. Carissa questions why she'd hide something so honorable. The other girls agree, saying it's something to be proud of, not to conceal. The girls then apologize for how they bothered her in the past, admitting they didn't realize they were upsetting her. They've decided to change for the better and want to be friends with Sofia. They advise her not to hide that she's a rookie knight because she's amazing and the uniform suits her perfectly. Carissa tells her to be natural and spontaneous and not to act differently from her true self. She assures Sofia that from now on they are friends and she should never hesitate to talk to them anywhere, anytime. Sofia is touched and thanks them all, tearing up. The girls excitedly ask if there are handsome men among the royal knights. Sofia tells them there are many, but everyone works hard. Carissa then asks Sofia about the person who was with her at the school ceremony, Arsene. She asks if he's Sofia's close friend. Carissa says she doesn't know him at all, but he spoke to her when she entered the ceremony, and she accompanied him because he was handsome. Carissa then suggests they all go to the shop together to buy a dress for Sofia. All the girls, including Sofia, get excited, and they quickly leave. Thus concludes today's episode of this anime. To watch more episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive all new updates. Our episode begins with the annual Comprehensive Military Arts Competition of the South Country Training Camp, featuring infantry, naval forces, and armed knights. They compete in a display of what they've learned during training. Then we see Sofia with her friends, who ask her why she's the only one exempt from participation. She tells them she withdrew to avoid any unnecessary conflict, which means she'll be a medic. Isaac jokes with her, telling her he'll do his best to get hurt so she can save him. Then we see the girls on a boat, welcoming Sofia as they've come to spend their vacation with her during the training. All the teams then prepare, and the first competition, the obstacle course, begins. All the students take off and race. We see Isaac in the lead, but Commander Volk jumps ahead and overtakes him, winning the match. He then approaches his friend Isaac and tells him he wants him to join his squad after he becomes a true knight. Next, we move to the second competition, swimming, where swimmers will compete, and whoever touches the target first will win. We see Louis participating in the competition, and Isaac wonders why Louis is taking part in this training since naval forces have the advantage in this competition. Then they see Commander Kwali and realize he won't be participating in this competition. The boy Kasatka approaches Louis and introduces himself as being from the naval forces. Louis tells him his name and that he's a rookie knight from chapter 153. Kasatka then vows to him, telling him he will be the winner and prove to everyone that he is worthy of the title. Louis tells him he doesn't care. All the students then prepare to start the competition and head into the sea. We see Kasatka swimming very fast and everyone is impressed by his performance. He reaches the target with ease and wins, with Louis taking second place. Sofia then approaches Kasatka, gives him a towel, and tells him she's Sofia, a medic with the first aid squad. He's very surprised to see a girl at the annual training and realizes she's a rookie knight, but he wonders why such a weak girl has become a knight. Sofia then gives him the towel and leaves immediately because he was staring at her intensely. She then goes to Louis and gives him a towel as well, telling him he was amazing in the competition. Kasatka then approaches them, and Louis tells him he had a very distinguished performance and deserved the victory title. Kasatka scoffs at him, saying he doubts he's qualified to be named the next chosen knight. Commander Shin then intervenes and tells him not to be rude to Louis and to return to the waiting area quickly. Then we move to the third competition, close combat, where Chinese bullets are used instead of real bullets. 6 members from each team participate in this competition, and the team with remaining members at the end will win. The competition begins, and we see the commander of the armed knights, Adler, firing bullets at many students. 2 members of the green team were eliminated, and the blue team was completely wiped out. Everyone is impressed by his brilliant performance. We see Eddie, the only remaining member of the red team, which means he'll have to face this savage commander alone. Eddie then remembers his commander telling him that he would be able to defeat Commander Adler with that bag, and giving it to him. Then we see Adler flying in the air, searching for Eddie. He then sees a girl among the trees and goes to her, asking if she's okay and suggesting he show her the way out of the forest. He then asks her name. Suddenly, the girl turns around and removes the wig from her head, and we see it's Eddie. He aims the gun at Adler and defeats him. Then we move to the girls and see them enjoying their vacation in the beautiful weather. We see the students standing together preparing for the next stage, which is the treasure hunt. Each student will draw a paper from the box and must bring what is written on the paper to the target. All the students then take a paper from the box and start the competition. Then we see Sofia standing in front of the students as they run towards her very quickly, and she is scared. Sofia is surprised, thinking, what am I going to do now? All I can do is run and fast, or else I'll be flattened and stuck to the ground by these rabble-rousers and barbarians. She doesn't know what could happen, but at that moment, Louis grabs her hand and tells her to hurry up and follow him. They indeed reach the finish line and everyone cheers for them. People wonder aloud, did she understand him? I think this was the commander's decision. At that moment, everyone congratulates Louis because he won, and he turns to Sofia and says, I'm so sorry I told you so suddenly. She replies, it's fine, really, no worries. But what were the instructions about? He tells her, look, I don't know anything. The important thing is that it went well. Sofia gives him a strange look and thinks to herself, oh, wonderful. He didn't even know what he was going to say. I don't want to attack him with my gorilla strength. I need to calm down a bit. The scene then quickly shifts to Carissa and her friends. They ask her, what should we do now? She suggests, why don't we go observe the night squad again? But Irie tells them, I'm not going there. Elsewhere, we see Edie and his friend. They've done a lot, but their results haven't changed much. They're almost tied. At that moment, urgent news arrives for the instructor, who calls them all together. This is an urgent message for all knights. An urgent message for all knights. A rock slide has occurred along the beach. A nearby hotel balcony has been partially destroyed. It appears a number of people have fallen into the water. All knights must proceed to the scene immediately. Everyone sets off at top speed. Everyone is working, but there's still a possibility of further collapses. They must do everything in their power to prevent more casualties. The other squad has gone to retrieve the rescue equipment, and the naval squad has already headed out to sea. However, someone tells them, wait, there are poisonous fish that entered the port last night. And here comes the commander of the naval squad, who tells them, I'll handle it. He indeed jumps into the sea and uses his immense power to secure the area. Then, they quickly descend to rescue everyone. And indeed, after about 15 minutes, the rescue operation is successfully completed. At that moment, Sofia watches them and makes sure they're all right. She asks about Carissa, but unfortunately, she's the only one still in the water. Sofia runs with gorilla speed and jumps onto a barrel to rescue her, or attempts to. She reaches her in a matter of seconds, then lifts her with gorilla strength, along with the umbrella she was riding on. She was about to fall into the sea when Gale came to rescue her. Luckily, he arrived at the right time. Who would have thought you could cover all that distance with the same speed as a killer whale? I admit your abilities, Lewis. You are truly great. The scene shifts after they finally finish, and the commander congratulates them, saying, excellent work today. Thanks to your efforts, we were able to accomplish so much, and this is an honor for all of us. Afterwards, we see Sofia, and Commander Folk calls out to her, Gorilla Girl, this is the first time I've seen your gorilla strength abilities. Join my squad once you become a knight. She tells him, Sir, I haven't thought about it yet. But at that moment, another person comes up and says, nah man, forget about her. I saw her first anyway. Then Commander Quali comes and asks them, what exactly are you doing? Even Shin wants to add her to his ranks. He says, no man, I'm not interested in that. The gorilla can only swim, but I see someone who can provide some defense for our vessels. In that case, you might be very ideal. In the evening, Sofia leaves, very exhausted, but she meets Lewis, who asks her, are you finished talking to the commanders? She replies, thank God they never stopped talking. But during the treasure hunt competition, what were your instructions? I mean, what was written on your paper? He says, the person you want to protect. Even though you're the one protecting me, in reality, and may God protect everyone. Their relationship was very romantic until Eddie and his friend arrived, and his friend told him, understand, you idiot? These two are in love. Get it? And what are we doing here now? Then fireworks explode everywhere, and the newspapers. This was a beautiful moment. And so ends our episode today. Wait for us in the next episode, but subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all that's new. Our episode today begins with Louis sitting by the fountain, reading a book. At that moment, Sofia approaches him and calls out, I'm so sorry I'm late, but thank you for waiting. He replies, it's fine, no problem, I'm used to it. When I was little, they'd always hit me on the back of my head and I had no value. Anyway, how are you? She says, "I'm good, honestly, and I'm really sorry again for being late." He responds, "Anyway, you look beautiful today in this outfit, and that means since you're wearing this, you didn't go back home after training." She confirms yes, because I was busy with training and didn't have enough time. Louis tells her, "I know Commander Folek is very strict. He trains us hard and always does. He's really like a wolf in some ways. But the important thing is you finished your training. How about we go together to buy some clothes? I think you'll attract a lot of attention in this outfit." Sofia thinks to herself, he's right. If someone from school saw us, they might say we ran away from school and went on a date. She apologizes to him for not thinking about the clothes. He says, "Okay, let's buy other clothes. And also so I can hold your hand." Then she remembers that during the training camp 2 days ago, they couldn't spend enough time together, but he wanted to give her a gift today. This is the first time they've gone out together since the beginning of their relationship. The scene quickly shifts to the murdered person, but we don't know who it is or who killed them. However, we see a sniper holding a rifle and shooting them from afar. Is he dead? Or is he still breathing his last? Stay with us until the end. The episode will be very exciting. On the other hand, we see Sofia trying on a beautiful dress, but she doesn't like it, so she tries on another. But it showed her legs, and she doesn't like that. She's a modest girl. So she tries on a third, and it was beautiful and suitable. Then, they continue their journey until they go to the hairdresser because she wants to cut her hair. After that, they go to their usual restaurant and eat delicious cake, and after that, they go for ice cream and cold desserts. She asks him about his house, and he tells her it's close by. "How about you come with some ingredients and we prepare dinner at home?" She agrees. On another note, we see the crime, and it was the Duke who was injured, but he managed to escape by the skin of his teeth. However, they have very little information about those who carried out the operation. They were wearing red cloaks, which means they are an anti-monarchy group. There is also a possibility they placed explosives somewhere, like last time. After that, we see Sofia and Louis strolling through the market to shop. Sofia is fascinated by the vegetables in the market. She had always heard about this place, but this was her first time seeing it. Louis tells her that he believes students from Derentuan don't visit this place much. At that moment, Sofia is captivated by the tomatoes in the market, red as rubies. Louis suggests they prepare a delicious tomato dish for dinner. Sofia is overjoyed and he buys the vegetables. On their way, they overhear two gentlemen talking about the blessings in their town. Blessings filled with insects and foul odors. Louis thinks to himself that these are the prevailing customs for owning blessings, and this problem isn't confined to their kingdom alone. It affects them all. Therefore, he wants to do something about it. But he's still just a novice knight with no experience. As they head home, a merchant stops them and asks them to buy some delicious nuts from him, offering them a discount. They buy some nuts, then return to Louis' house. Sofia is very happy with it. Even though it's a small rented house, it's wonderful to her. Before they enter the house, Louis remembers that he forgot to buy spices because the ones he had run out. He gives her the vegetables and the house key so she can go inside while he returns. Sofia asks to go with him, but he tells her it's late, so he'll be faster by himself. He then rushes off to buy the spices. Sofia indeed enters the house and finds it a very beautiful place. She quickly looks around, then goes to prepare the food. Louis arrives at that moment and finds her cooking. He apologizes for the delay, then tells her she's skilled at cooking. She asks him to taste the food, and when he does, he finds it very delicious. Then they set the food on the table and eat happily. After eating, Sofia sits looking at her necklace, telling Louis that it's the one he gave her before. Since he gave it to her, she's worn it and never taken it off, even though she's afraid of losing it during missions, so she keeps it in a safe place, but it's very precious to her since it's the first gift she's ever received from him, and she never wants to part with it. Louis blushes deeply. "I was a little worried because I didn't know any other way to make you happy besides gifts," Louis said. "I wasn't sure if you minded that or not." Sofia told him she loved him and didn't want him to worry about such things. Louis apologized, saying, "I didn't mean anything bad by it. It's getting late. I think you should get ready to go back. I'll walk you." As they walked, Louis told Sofia, "Make sure you rest well tonight." He apologized for what happened, saying, "I didn't consider your feelings and rushed things." Sofia arrived at her home and thanked Louis for walking her. Louis said goodbye and left. Sofia then rushed inside because she was late, returning to her room. Suddenly, masked figures appeared and attacked her. However, Sofia was very strong and fended off their blows, throwing them to the ground. Then, we see a bottle on the ground and smoke billows out of it. Sofia rejoiced in her strength because she had defeated them, then said, "I can't leave these two thugs here. I'll contact the royal knights." Sofia then felt tired, and a man appeared saying, "For your light to shine to its fullest, you must be by my side, Sofia." We then see a box in the area and it explodes. Thus ends today's episode of this anime. Wait for us in the next episodes. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell icon to receive all our new content. Our episode today begins when Sofia wakes up, but she finds herself as if in paradise. What is this place? A fluffy bed? Plants? Beautiful food? What is this place really? Perhaps I'm dreaming. Louis accompanied me until I approached the dwelling, but after that I don't remember anything. Then she's surprised and says, "What are these clothes I was wearing? These aren't the clothes Louis bought me, but thank God I didn't lose my necklace." Then she's surprised by a boy who says to her, "Have you woken up? Thank God you're safe." This boy seems to be called Leohart, and he says to her, "I haven't seen you since the school party. Do you remember me?" So she said to him, "Yes, you are Leohart." Then he apologizes to her for what happened in the past when he grabbed her face and tried to harass her. Then he asks her, "Do you feel any pain? You were attacked. Someone made you inhale poison and you fainted immediately. That's why I brought you here. But perhaps, my friends, he is lying, for he is the one who did that. He then says to her, "Come, let's drink tea when your clothes dry." But she was truly surprised by what happened, and then said to him, "What a beautiful place. I truly can't tell the difference between night and day here," he told her. "They are light reflectors. At night or during the day, it always looks like this. You can't tell the difference unless you look at the clock." He shows her that necklace and says to her, "What do you think of that necklace?" So she said to him, "It's beautiful, truly." He informed her that it was from a place she had never heard of before. Then he recounts what happened in the past when he was in that village, playing with his friends, living a simple, peaceful life. A food distributor came to them. Leohart was the tallest of the children and could pick up a lot of food, then distribute it to his friends. His life was simple and easy, him and his friends. While holding that jewel, he tells her, "It's very precious." After that, he explains that someone from the nobility wanted to adopt him. Since we nobles support the king and get our strength from animals, our kingdom seems stable, but the power of animals causes a gap in wealth distribution and disparities in hidden places, and the situation is getting worse. Therefore, I want you to help me first since you know this area, Leohart. Your voice will reach the crowd. And then he gives him a lot of food for all the children at this time. In addition to this, he will prepare more food for them every day, and many rejoice. And he will also provide them with as many educational resources as he can. He will bring them any books they need. I hope you accept my offer that I presented to you. So Leohart thought about this offer with his friends, and they told him that it was a good offer. The problem is we will miss you very much, but this is truly what you must do. So he went to that high official and said to him, "I agree, sir." Then he discovers that he has a very great ability, and the official rejoices and says, "I will tell the king about this. He will truly be happy with that immense power." Then we see Leohart reading a book, and the official asks him, "Perhaps you've grown accustomed to the noble life by now?" He then looks at a bottle and asks him, "You still keep that dirty thing?" Leohart replies that it's not dirty, it's a memory of him and his friends from the past. "I can never give it up, no matter what happens. I'm going there now." The man gets angry and tells him, "I forbid you from going there, not to mention you have many things to do now that you've become my son," but he didn't heed his words and left at rocket speed. Here was the real shock. The place was completely demolished and no one was there, only some broken things. Then he sees some of his friends hiding and weeping bitterly. When he deduced what had happened, they told him that people had burned down the entire place, the place where everyone slept and where they used to play. As for Cecile, they had killed her. At that, Leohart wept bitterly. We return to the present, and the person who took his strength, his home, and everything else was the Duke who became his father. He brazenly told him that it was normal to get rid of garbage, and for that reason, Leohart also decided to get rid of the garbage. He killed him. Here, Sofia asks him, "Who are you?" He informs her that he is the leader of the Dawn faction, which is anti-monarchy. Yes, my friends, these are the people who planted the bomb in the Dermonton area. He then tells her that he knows everything about her, and that he also knows she gained the gorilla's ability. But do you know what the natural predator of a gorilla is? The answer is me, for I have the power of a leopard. Sofia jumps 2 steps back and he gets angry at her and says, "I am just as strong as you are, but how dare you let that squirrel," meaning Louis, "tame you, you gorilla." Then he grabs her necklace, tears it apart and says, "I will put a new necklace on you, it suits you perfectly." Sofia becomes furious and says to him, "How dare you do that?" She then hits him with a devastating gorilla blow that destroys the entire house. Then she puts on her clothes and takes her necklace, saying, "I must hurry. All the students are in danger." If you were Louis and knew about that man, what would you have done to her? Would you have killed him or would you have negotiated with him because he possesses power and you wouldn't be able to kill him easily? Write to us in the comments and we will reply to everyone. But if you are not subscribed to the channel, you must subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Our episode begins with Leo searching everywhere for Sofia. He reaches the anti-monarchy Dawn group, but their numbers are larger than he expected. They are heavily guarding the entrances so he can't see what's happening inside. He then runs very fast and the guards chase him, but he easily defeats them. He doesn't kill them, he just beats them severely. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Commander Shane, who is talking to his friend in the Royal Guard. His friend tells him, "We couldn't reach Breton." Commander Shane replies, "Okay, we'll go there immediately." At that moment, we see someone spying on them. Spies are numerous now. People who don't belong to any creed or religion. Their only concern is money. They are hired by certain parties to be their eyes in other countries and places. Commander Shane then uses his water power, his shocker ability, to electrocute many people. The scene quickly shifts to Leo, who has reached the director and rescued him. Unfortunately, he doesn't know where the other students are, but he's very worried about them. The director tells him, "Expect your restriction, my son. You can check the campus again." The scene moves to Sofia, who is running fast. She wants to contact Louis and the others to tell them what's going to happen. At that moment, a sudden attack comes her way, but she uses her gorilla power and quickly blows up the building. She then enters the school building and finds a large wall blocking the classroom door. She blows up the entire door and enters, checking on everyone to make sure they are okay. She easily frees them from their bonds, to the astonishment of the people, who say she tore the rope with her fingertips. Then, Irene uses her very strong spider web, as she calls it, to block the entrances and exits. Sofia tells them, I want you to stay here for a while until the danger passes. As for me, I was thinking of moving through the campus through certain places. She flies upwards but finds the place completely dark, but Sofia is encouraged. She must free the rest of the students from the severe danger that awaits them, which is the explosion. However, they call out to her, wait, take us with you, we can't wait here alone. But only 2 go with her, as they possess powerful abilities. The girl, Caritha, has the ability to walk in the dark, and the other has the ability of spider threads. Rennie then gives her a strong rope to help her with transportation. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Eddie and Adler, who are being followed by intruders. At that moment, Sofia reaches them and hits the 2 intruders. They look out the window and see a strange person, Victor Volk, the commander of the ground forces, striking many intruders one after another until he knocks them all down. Sofia asks about Louis, and Eddie tells her that he probably went to the director to free him. We'll go with you there and check on him. From another direction, it seems Louis lost that battle, but Sofia and her companions sneak in from the roof. However, the place is unsafe, as 3 snipers are on high alert and begin firing shots. They quickly sneak and hide, but a 4th intruder arrives and says, leave it to me. He then lifts a very large stone, weighing 500 kilograms, and slams it onto the place where they were, blowing up the place as if it were a nuclear bomb. But Sofia did not remain silent. With the strength of a gorilla, she lifted the massive stone and dropped it on them like a K-bar missile, blowing up the entire area. The intruders tried to capture them, causing Eddie and some of them to fall below, but they were determined to continue moving forward quickly. At that moment, we see the superhuman man lifting the church bell from above all, by himself. He might throw it down, and it weighs 3,000 kilograms. What could such a bell do when it falls from that height? Yes, it's insane. But Sofia said she would catch it right before it fell. And indeed, she was able to block it with her powerful defenses. However, she couldn't withstand it for long, and it pinned her down, her feet sinking into the ground. The bell then rolled and reached the location where, surprise, Louis was unconscious and the mastermind of the terrorist operations was sitting in front of him. He said to her, here you are again, you foolish Sofia, placing his foot on Louis' stomach. Then Leo Hart added, I don't hate the cold attitude you gave me this morning, but eventually you'll come to know me. Sofia, furious, said, release Louis now. He replied, no, he will surely receive his punishment. At that moment, 2 of his henchmen emerged to kill Sofia, but Isaac appeared at lightning speed and struck one of them, and Sofia took down the other. She thanked him. Then, Leo Hart activated his destructive power and struck Isaac with such force that he was flung against the wall and thrown far away. Leo Hart quickly rushed behind Sofia and said, you're really something. We need to have sex, then take over the world and get married. She tried to hit him, but he was too fast and caught her off guard, giving her a sting on the head that knocked her unconscious. When she woke up, he told her, I won't force you to do anything. I won't touch you without your will, but I will take care of you. Then, he kissed her. Sofia bit him instantly and said, when God gave me this power, it wasn't to use for evil, but to protect others. That's what I'm doing now. But you, Leo Hart, are an evil man who wants to rule the world and spread terrorism, and that's wrong. Then he activated his tiger mode and struck her hard, slamming her into the wall. Not stopping there, he approached her and began choking her. As she gasped her last breaths, Louis finally regained consciousness. He shouted, let her go, you idiot! Then he told her, run, Sofia, quickly! I'll take care of him. But Leo Hart was too fast. He said, you must surrender her to me or I'll kill you both. Then he punched Louis in the stomach. Angered, Louis said, I am her knight, and I won't let you have her, you terrorist scum. He swung his sword and slashed Leo Hart's shoulder. Furious, Leo Hart grabbed him by the neck and slammed him to the ground. He then prepared to transform and finish them both off. But in that critical moment, the Supreme Force arrived. They said, raise your hands and surrender. My team has surrounded this entire area. Surrender now or we will kill you. He said to them, you arrived faster than I expected, Royal Knights, but I will never surrender. The commander ordered his men to open fire, but Leo Hart was incredibly fast, dodging the bullets like a cheetah. He taunted them, you'll never hit me with those slow bullets. Meanwhile, Sofia looked around for Louis but couldn't find him. She eventually spotted him above. He had transformed into a squirrel, planning a surprise attack. Then, Sofia challenged Leo Hart, the gorilla versus the cheetah. Who do you think will win? Let us know in the comments. The battle was intense. He landed a surprise hit and told her, surrender and I'll protect you from anyone. But she replied, I will never surrender. I don't need protection. I want to protect others. There are people I value and respect. There are weak ones, oppressed ones, the poor. I want to protect them all from any attack, theft, or evil act. At that moment, she gathered all her gorilla strength and struck him with a powerful blow that made him lose focus. In retaliation, he tried to cut the chandelier, which weighed about 100 kilograms, and it came crashing down on his head. He didn't die, but all his bones were shattered. Eventually, they arrested him. Sofia was later taken to the royal hospital, where she remained in a coma for over 24 hours. When she finally woke up, she saw Eddie and Isaac and asked, "Eddie, are you okay? I remember yesterday morning, you mentioned something from the rooftop. What did you do after that?" He replied, "I activated the power of the cat, which allowed me to land from that height without injury." Days and years passed. Finally, they graduated from both the academy and school. Sofia congratulated Louis on their graduation. They had succeeded and officially become knights. Now, Louis aims to become the leader of the knights. He stands at the beginning of a long path. The road will not be easy, but the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. He turned to her and said, "But I want you by my side. I love you so much. Will you stay with me?" She replied, "Yes, I'll be with you forever." And with that, the anime ends. Stay tuned for our new anime next week. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode.